Another thing to think about is while you're out hunting, a lot of times in the West, you can pick up an extra tag. You can get a black bear tag. You could have a mule deer tag in your pocket too. Do you really want a 375 H&H for a mule deer? You know, if you have that extra tag in your pocket?
Well, I think the guys who like a 375 would like it. Elk cartridges, we've beat the topic to death. We're going to beat it some more because there are always new elk hunters coming into the market and they want to know what is the best cartridge to shoot. I want something more powerful than what I'm using for deer because elk are so much bigger.
They're four deer, 5 deer.
Yeah, you can stuff 4 or 5 deer inside of a big elk.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. Try that?
We should.
But first, we've got to get the elk down on the ground. And that's going to require a bullet, a cartridge. What we would like to do is help you folks decide what is going to work for you. There is no absolute finest, bestest elk cartridge.
No.
There are a bunch of good ones. There are some fairly good ones. There are some over-the-top ones.
And there are just enough, too.
Yeah, you have to decide what the Goldilocks cartridge is, but I think we're going to discuss some of the minimums and then some of the maximums to help you in your choices. We are going to pick what we think is probably the ultimate one, but that's us, not you. So I think we need to qualify this by saying people have been taking elk with everything from 22 rimfires through probably 470 Nitro Express or something.
I shot one with a Hawkins 50 cal with a patched round ball.
There you go.
That's about as old school as you could get.
Yeah.
So,
but in modern centerfire rifles, you want something with some diameter and some mass. Yet a lot of people will use a little old 243. I always tell the story about this guy I knew who shot 13 6x6 bull elk with 13 shots, all with the 243 Winchester.
What grain bullet was he using?
I assume 100 grain. I don't really know.
On the upper end of the 6
But I don't think it really matters because what he did was he got within 100 yards or less and he put it right behind the shoulder and that bullet exploded in the lungs and the heart and he had his elk.
Down.
So a 243 can work if you don't like recoil, if you need a really lightweight rifle.
And I have killed an elk with a 243.
You did?
I did. I shot it at 300 yards.
Holy mackerel.
Believe it or not. I shot it twice, but that's pretty common regardless of what you shoot with.
Oh, yeah.
And the elk went down and that was that.
Yeah. So it's getting the bullet into the vitals that causes the hemorrhaging that gets your animal.
It's shot placement, but
a modern version, of course, these days people are going to be looking for that 6mm Creedmoor, and you put these two together, you could say they've got to be driving the same bullets about the same velocity. It's just a slightly different shape for that more accuracy inherent kind of a thing.
6 Creedmoor is going to have a little bit tighter barrel twist usually.
Yeah. Now, in the 20th century, of course, we were taking all kinds of elk with the 270 Winchester, the 30-06, and after 1952, the 308 started to come on.
I have shot more elk with the 308 than any other cartridge.
Really? I haven't shot one with it.
I've killed a lot with it, and it works. It kills them dead, but all of them were 400 yards or less.
Yeah. Okay, and then you generally want to say, I need a Magnum for an elk. I think this is where it starts with most hunters. It surely did when I was a kid. It was like, you're going elk hunting? I don't know if you should take that 270. You might need a 7
Here's this bazooka tube. Just take that with you.
Yeah, right. And what happens when the guy shows up with a new bazooka tube?
He has no idea how to fire the bazooka tube.
He's afraid of it, isn't he? Yeah. All right, so here's some good bazooka tube stuff right here. This is the 7mm Remington Magnum, which I happen to think is like pretty much the
I would. That's my favorite elk gun.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people say, why go for the 7 when you can go for the
300 Win Mag?
300 Win Mag. Well, you put those two together and you say, oh, okay, there's a little more horsepower and it's a wider diameter bullet. Can't argue with it. I think that 300 Win Mag probably could be declared the all-time winner.
I would agree. I think that as far as like how big the rifle is, there's not too much recoil, but it's enough. I think the 300 Win Mag is one of the most optimal elk rounds that they make.
If you can shoot it.
If you can hit what you're aiming at.
Yeah,
that's the big deal.
That's the point, is that too many times we will go out with this Super Magnum that we cannot control and shoot effectively, and that's why the 243 is a better pick than the 300 Win Mag for some people sometimes.
Yes. But if you can't shoot a 300 Win Mag, I might hop back over to that .6. It's outdated, but I wouldn't classify it as outdated. I've killed elk with an .6. I've killed all kinds of stuff with an .6.
Yeah, the 30-06 has been proven for anything. And you know what, Tate? That is not a bad place to say start.
Yes.
Start with your 30-06 and ask yourself, can I shoot something a little bigger and more powerful? If I can't, if I don't like the recoil, stick with the 30-06 and just concentrate on being a good shot.
Yes.
And using the right bullet. But if you can handle a bit more recoil and you still want to shoot a big, heavy bullet in a 308, you can step up to the Magnums. And if you don't like the longer, heavier rifle, with the 300 Win Mag, you can go to the short versions of it. And this is the WSM 300, same bullets, shorter rifle, more compact.
Have you killed an elk with one of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, great cartridge. So is the 325 WSM.
Yep.
And then that's another point is you can go over 30 into the bigger ones. And there you can get yourself into all kinds of trouble too. But then we prop up the what? 338 Win Mag?
Yes. And
That
I have seen a
is-
few shot with those.
Oh, that is a heck of an elk
It
round
is a
right there.
thumper
Yeah.
if you can shoot it.
Yeah, it's going to thump you too. So that's the problem. And then there are some guys who say, here is the ultimate elk cartridge.
375 H&H.
Yeah. Yes, indeed, that will handle an elk, but do you really need that much?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I won't argue with anybody who's willing to carry it and shoot it. Works just great, but I think it's overkill if there's such a thing.
Yeah, it's too dead. Too dead.
And then you can go above that. I mean, I know guys who use 458s.
50 BMG.
Oh, no, I don't know anybody who uses that, but
I know
I've
one
heard
guy
about
that
it.
does, but
But that's the point, guys, is you can go to either extreme. We like to fall in the middle.
yep.
Based on what you've seen a lot of clients with a lot of different rifles shooting elk.
Yes.
What would you pick as your sort of right there?
You know, I would say, like I've said it time and time again, I think that 7mm mag is probably my personal favorite. It's 162 grain bullets, somewhere right in there. I have a 7 PRC. I love it. I'd fall right in that 6.8 to the moderate 30 cal Magnums would be my preference to stay within that 6.8 Western, 7 PRC, 7 mag, 300 Win Mag, 300 WSM. All those are great.
Great. And I can concur. It's going to do the job for you guys, but if you don't like the recoil, you want a little bit lighter rifle and stuff, don't feel like a 270 is going to let you down. Because
No.
I sent a 270 to visit an elk one time, and he didn't like the conversation at all. They just flat out work. It's as long as you got that right bullet and put it in the right place. So yeah, you've got a great diversity of cartridges that are going to work for elk. 7 rem mag to the 300 Win Mag, right in that family, I think you're going to be optimized.
Another thing to think about is while you're out hunting, a lot of times in the West, you can pick up an extra tag. You can get a black bear tag. You could have a mule deer tag in your pocket too. Do you really want a 375 H&H for a mule deer? You know, if you have that extra tag in your pocket?
Well, I think the guys who like a 375 would like it.
But my preference would be something a little bit smaller.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, have we summed it up? Is that what people need to know?
I would
get
say
the right
so.
elk cartridge?
Yeah,
Okay. I think the bigger deal is which bullet are they going to shoot?
that's coming up too.
Yeah. So stay tuned. And the next episode from Elk Week is going to be the all-important bullet, because the bullet is what does all the work. That's what takes your elk. All right. Thanks, Tate. Everybody, we will see you next time when we discuss bullets for elk on Ron Spomer Outdoors. Thanks for joining us. Hunt honest and shoot straight. And shoot an elk, too, if you can.